Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. If you're new to the channel, know I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. And the reason why is because a lot of times we want to know why our person is acting the way that they're acting. We also want to know why we have to experience certain karmic lessons. And we want to know why we need to learn certain karmic lessons in order to not repeat the karmic cycle, in order to repeat the karmic theme. And that karmic theme, it could be one that just keeps you in a place of disempowerment, keeps you in a place of feeling undervalued, in a place of lack, limitation. Again, you are the universe in physical form, so you have the potential to be abundant. But there's many different realities that play it at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on what your core beliefs are, and your actions and your behaviorisms are going to be in alignment with what those core beliefs are. So to understand why your person does what they do allows you to deal with that person differently. And that a lot of times is enough just to help you shape shift the situation. Do you always get what you want, meaning the person changes? No, but you don't inherit the negative karmic retribution. A lot of times you may feel as if you're like the innocent bystander, someone that, just is minding your own business, but you get involved with a person and that person has a lot of negative karma. That person is not awake. That person has behaviorisms that are built on the ego. So they only care about themselves. So what winds up happening is you feel betrayed, you feel victimized. A lot of times, again, dealing with these people that have very low character, they're not aware of how they're really navigating their own life. They don't realize how they're racking up their own negative karma. They don't care how they affect you a lot of times when you're dealing with a karmic, because that person isn't aware. So, like I said, you can't tell who a person is the first time you hang out with them. A lot of times people hide things from you. They wear shadows. They have shadows. They create illusions. So, like I said, if you're someone that continually lives a karmic theme where you're the victim, where you feel like you're attracting people that emotionally can't give to you, well, you want to understand what your shadows are. Because again, you're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. The universe always brings you what you need, not what you want. You may want someone that's emotionally intelligent, but never get someone that's emotionally intelligent. And it's the way that the universe teaches you how to be emotionally intelligent. So you don't need to have someone come into your life to emotionally show you. You know how to do it yourself. And that's, again, how the universe works. So again, when people say, why do I keep attracting people that are horrible? Well, again, you're attracting what you need, what the universe feels that you need. You're not learning. That's why you keep experiencing it. Again, once you learn the spiritual lesson, you know what to avoid. You can see, and you change the way that you deal with yourself and the situation. So that automatically changes the dynamic. Trauma bonds work on the dynamic of the two people together. So, like I said, once you heal and integrate, that you avoid those spiritual blocks where you are codependent, where you would wind up in a trauma bond. That's just an example. There are many. All right. So if you're someone, again, that has shadows, and this is a channel for you, understand that their readings have a therapy style. There's a lot of education in them, so they tend to be a little bit longer. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. It's the underlying energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. We want to know that when we're dealing with people that have shadows, because they're always, again, creating illusions and facades and trying to make you feel a certain way. Okay, let's see. Criticism. I feel like your person that like you're connected to, the person that's connected to you, I should say, they avoided you for a long time because they don't want to hear anything negative about themselves. This person knows that they treated you wrong. They didn't know how to deal with the fact that you were going to confront them. There was a sense that I feel like they thought if they waited a certain amount of time that maybe you'd forget. Which I don't know why people do that. It usually works the opposite. So I have a feeling that you have a person that's connected to you that continually self-sabotages connections. And the reason why is because they're overly sensitive. They don't communicate and they don't know how to communicate. So what happens is that there's a lot of assuming. And then this person doesn't really know you. They haven't taken the time to get to know you. And they can't hear any type of criticism at all, or they can't even listen to any type of request, I should say, because they hear the request more as a criticism. See, there's a strong spiritual connection, but this person continually gets in their own way. And they get in their own way because, again, they don't know how to communicate. And they avoid having to hear anything that's negative that they're going to see as you criticizing them. And the reason why is because they actually, on the root of it, have a fear of abandonment. And there's the strong chemistry that they have with you, that they actually feel powerless. And the problem is that they have major intimacy issues. And that's second chakra imbalance. And that's all about trusting themselves. Well, they don't trust themselves, so they don't trust anyone. And they don't trust themselves because, like I said, they don't know why their relationships look the way that they do. But if you're in a connection with someone that doesn't know how to communicate and they assume everything about you and they don't take the time to get to know you because they're not emotionally intelligent, not enough to actually have a conversation where they're transparent, well, that creates a lot of mistrust within the relationship when really it's unnecessary. It's mainly because your person just doesn't know. I feel like when they were younger, when they tried to express themselves, they got yelled at a lot. They get blamed a lot. So this person actually feels really inadequate. And they feel inadequate because they're not really true to themselves. They don't really feel safe. They don't feel safe within themselves because I feel like the foundation of where they came from, like there was a lot of criticism. There was just an abusive parent that always put this person down. And then they get into relationships and they don't communicate. And then the people that they wind up dating wind up criticizing them more. So this person actually believes that there's something wrong with them. So they've almost came to this realization, I should say, and it's not truth, it's their perception that they need to be alone, that there are just some people in life that are not meant to be in relationships, and that's what this person thinks. So they've created a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it's mainly because they don't know how to communicate and because they avoid any type of anything that can be seen as criticism. Because again, they have fear of abandonment. So there's always like this need to be perfect. But in the fact that there's always a need to be perfect, there's always like unauthentic. Like you always feel like this person is creating illusions and again facades. They're not letting you get close. And it's really because they don't trust themselves. So that's a lot of trauma. That's a lot of trauma. So when you were in a connection with this person, how did they make you feel? Triggered. I feel like again you called their bluff because there was a sense that this person didn't care about you. You felt like this person didn't care about you. They weren't giving you transparency. They weren't letting you get close. They weren't letting you communicate to them what your needs were because again, they're overly sensitive. So I feel like, again, they acted like they didn't care. They really thought that you were so head over heels for them that you were never going to leave. And I feel like you gave this person a lot of chances, second and third and fourth chances. So what happened is they got cocky. This person loves the fact that you have feelings for them, but they never show that they have feelings for you in return. They're emotionally not intelligent. So it doesn't mean that they don't have feelings. What it means is that you said, well, since you're not going to show me that you care, you're not going to tell me that you care, I'm going to leave and we're going to see what you do, whether or not you really do care or you don't care. And what you see is that this person's trying to talk to you by throwing you little breadcrumbs. They know that they've treated you wrong. They don't want to come back and say that they're sorry. They don't want to take responsibility. Again, they don't want to deal with the criticism. They avoid. They just want to be able to come back into your life and kind of pick things up where it left off, and your life not going to have it. And this person didn't think that you would walk away from them. They just didn't really, and you're like, no, I'm gonna call your bluff. You really think that you don't have to do any work. You don't think that you have to put any effort in, that I'm just gonna give whatever you dish out. And I feel like that's not what you did. I feel like you turned it around and picked your own life up and you invested in yourself and you came out a better version of yourself. That's what I feel. Because you got tired of the stonewalling. You're like, and I feel like you stonewalled this person. They triggered you because they weren't giving you anything. Every time you would want to have a conversation about how this person needed to treat you, what your boundaries were, what you expected in the relationship, or even wanting to know what type of relationship we're in, this person avoided things. They would joke around. They would downplay. They would be vague. And it was all ways to avoid. And that made you not safe. So eventually you stonewalled them because they were not giving you enough. You were just throwing me little breadcrumbs here and there. That's not enough. You're not coming back the same way that you left. You were giving me breadcrumbs before. You thought that I wasn't going to leave. I left. You're coming back with the same energy that you left with. And it's like this person doesn't know what to do. They're not used to having to work. They're not used to having to think. And you were tired. You said I feel like you felt that they constantly needed attention. They constantly needed attention. And if they didn't get attention, they would try to make you jealous. This person continued to just play games. They constantly needed attention. Otherwise, they got irritated and jealous that your attention was not on them. So it's like energy vampire. I'm not going to give you anything, and I'm expecting you to give me something. You're like, I'm tired of the breadcrumbs. You're not giving me anything. You walk away. This person stays away for a long time. Then instead of coming back and really putting effort in, they again are going to breadcrumb and still need attention from other people because they're insecure, because now they know this whole time that they've been playing it wrong with you, where before they weren't quite so sure. They thought that they could get away with it. Now there's an essence of, oh, well, now I see that you realized that I was disrespecting you. And so this person already kind of knows that you're not going to want to deal with them. And it's mainly because that was their self-fulfilling prophecy. They made that, they put that out there. Again, at one time, a long time ago, I'm not supposed to be in a relationship. It just doesn't work. And not if you're going to need attention from everybody. Not if you need attention every waking moment to get validation that you're a man or a woman, because you don't know how to fulfill yourself. And then the fact that you don't know how to fulfill yourself, you don't like yourself, you're boring. And then you look for someone to be your entertainment. You look for someone to drain their energy, to become part of, to become a chameleon, because you don't have an identity. That's why you need to be an energy vampire and get attention from me all the time. And if I'm not going to give it, then you're going to get it from other people. And you're going to try and make me feel jealous, try and make me feel bad, because you're not really giving me anything. And when you do things, again, instead of coming and being a man or a woman, whatever you're dealing with, you don't apologize. You never get an apology. So you breadcrumb, you ghost after I call you out on your breadcrumbing. You ghost because you don't want to deal with the criticism. You get attention from a lot of other people because now I'm not giving you attention. Then you come back and you give more breadcrumbs. You leave the same way that you come back the same way that you left. And on top of it, I never get an apology. So nothing ever gets healed. We never evolve. Nothing ever gets fixed. You never put my mind at ease. This is you. You're like, you don't never put my mind at peace. You don't give me that. It's like you just want to keep me hooked on. You just want to create some weird trauma bond where you think that you're gonna throw me a little breadcrumb and I'm gonna be sticking around, and that feeds your ego because you just love the fact that I have feelings for you, but then you don't give me anything in return. So all you've done is you've created major trust issues within this relationship. But meanwhile, you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself. You don't trust me. You don't let me get close. You create all this bullshit emotionally. You just don't show up for me. You act like you don't care. You don't acknowledge what you do. So of course I don't trust you. You thought I was always going to take it? I called you bluff. Now you're coming back with your little breadcrumbs again. Let's see what they're going to do or what they feel before we see why you attracted this person into your life. Clear the illusion of the 5D world. Don't take everything at face value. There's a lot more going on spiritually and energetically than you can see. So this person's acting like they don't care. And this is what you know. You walked away because you said, okay, you want to act like you don't care. You want to brag how much I care about you. You want to give me breadcrumbs and keep me on the hook while you talk to other people and think that you're going to get to me when you get to me, and that our love for each other can withstand all your bullshit. Well, bye. And now when you left, this person's not showing that they care, but they care. They're affected. And they're affected because there was a part of this person that had a very big ego. They've been playing this game with people for a long time. They misread your kindness for weakness. They shit all over the spiritual connection. You stuck around because there was a deep spiritual connection. And I feel like this person kind of severed that connection with all their trust issues. With all their trust issues, they created so many trust issues within the connection that it's affected the intimacy level, where you're like, I don't even feel like as attracted to this person. I feel like I don't know it. And that's really the spiritual thing. When people that there's a spiritual connection, it's one that's very emotional. It's one that, again, has to be obviously very emotional because it transcends all time and space. There's a knowing, the person feels like home. There's a lot of deja vus. This person knew who you were. They might not have said, oh, I know that this is my twin flame. They might not have known that term, but they knew that you were an important person in their life. They never felt what they felt before. This person looked at the connection and they said, I don't have to put any work in. I don't have to do anything. They misread your respect because you respected this person as weakness because they weren't treating you that way. They were so busy paying attention to how much feelings you had for them and how they were getting over on you, that they were so stuck in their ego. And it's mainly because they do admire you. It's almost like I felt like, I can't believe that you like me. I can't believe that you like me. Like they would sit there and brag to their friends, almost like someone that does it in high school. Imagine a grown man. It like seems ridiculous, but I feel like this person has a lot of trauma and they are not evolved from a person that's high school level. It's very immature energy because they don't know how to communicate. They're not comfortable with their emotions. And so, again, having someone like you have feelings for them, well, they want to put it on a billboard. They want to announce it on the PA. And that's not what they show you. They don't show you anything. They should show you breadcrumbs. But that's how you know they really like you a lot and that they're not on the same vibration as you, which means they're not emotionally intelligent. They're not psychologically intelligent when it comes to relationships either. They have a lot of self-sabotaging relationships. So even though this person is showing you one thing, a lot's going on, they're very affected by what's going on. The person has to evolve They have to evolve. And by you walking away, I feel like this person had to, the facade came down, the mirror came down, the mask fell off. And there's nothing worse than a person that has wounds, so many wounds, that they don't know who they are, that they create all these facades. And the one good thing that they have is a person that they perceive really has feelings, that they have this emotional bond, and they're so excited about it, but they shit all over it because they didn't, again, believe that they were deserving of it. They didn't honor it. They cheapened it. The planets are activating us to heal and bring us closer together, surrender to the changes. So again, this person believes that, again, they're starting to see things from a different perception. The thing is, just because they feel they're being healed, they are being healed, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they get to be with you. What that means is that you learn one way or the other. You learn whether or not you would be with them, or karmically you say, sorry, you didn't learn. You didn't treat me well. Too late. Time's up. This person just knows that they're changing, that they're affected, that they're willing to deal. And I think because, again, they still feel that spiritual connection. They always had it. They just didn't value it. We need to wait for divine timing. Time is healing our wounds and creating the perfect condition for our reunion. This person thinks that you're a layer of twin flame. That's what they think. There's a sense that they believe that, again, they're changing. So there's a lot is almost like they're putting it in faith's hands, which doesn't really make sense to me, only because they didn't really treat you well. I've been learning about twin flames. It feels right to me. So, this is a problem when people begin to read about twin flames and soulmates. They automatically think, they put themselves in that category. Now, I do feel like this person is being affected, and where they are doing work on themselves, they just are so sure about you. And that, I don't know whether that's real or whether that's, I need to believe this because I'm healing and I'm in a different place. But they've been doing a lot of reading. I believe they've been even, possibly on Facebook pages and a few spiritual books and just surfing the internet, talking to other spiritual people. So this person feels that you are a divine connection because they can't walk away from you. There's a sense that they wouldn't have normally cared, to be honest with you. They didn't give you enough to care. They only gave you breadcrumbs. So there's a part of them that's like, I don't know why I still have feelings, because I do to you what I do to everybody, and normally I'm not affected. So the fact that they're still thinking about you, number one. Number two, the fact that you called their bluff, and that affects them. There's a part of this person that's like wants to change, and they want to change because they have feelings for you, and you showed them a different version of themselves, one that they don't like. You showed them what was underneath their own mask. They forgot what was underneath their own mask because they've been wearing the mask for so long. And when you walked away, you called their bluff, and what was left was their feelings and their emotions. So which, if they weren't there, they wouldn't be doing anything. They wouldn't be affected at all. Like I said, everything's happening internally. You're not seeing anything. They're not reaching out to you. What they keep saying is divine timing and wait, and this is a divine connection. So again, they're putting a lot in faith, and I feel like there's a part of this person that needs to do that because they know that they ruin the connection. They know that they ruin the connection, and they just feel like they'll know when the right time is. Now, and others, for others, I feel like others are in like a connection with somebody else, but the connection's over and they're just waiting to wrap things up in a divorce or in a separation, something that's for some of you, while others, it's the other person is just kind of waiting it out. And I feel like they don't know when they're coming. They just know that they're coming. That makes sense. And possibly because, again, I don't feel like this person's as confident as they like to portray that they are. Again, they're acting like they don't care. They're affected. So I kind of feel like they're gonna just wake up one morning and like run out of the house and show up at your front door, or just wind up reaching out one day, picking up the phone where they normally wouldn't do that. That's not their norm. This connection is not the norm. That's what is stirring this person. The fact that they normally don't care and they're still thinking about it. The fact that they do this to a lot of different people, they have a lot of different connections. They need a lot of attention. They talk to a lot of different people every single day, whether you're talking to them or not, because they need that constant attention. So the fact that they're still thinking about you is fucked up to them. They're like, it's messing with their minds because they, again, made that oath to themselves that they would never fall in love, that just doesn't happen for them. And the fact that they can't control this is infuriating them, but it excites them. It also freaks them out. They have a lot of different feelings. This person's not emotionally intelligent. They don't know how to work through their feelings. They don't know how to communicate. Yeah, like they're usually very unemotional and they like to handle things very critically, okay? That's them. And anytime you wanted to talk to them, they would be sarcastic or jokey and again deflect a lot. So you would never be able to get an answer out of them, what they wanted from the connection, what you wanted. But bottom line is that there's a lot of intuition, there's a lot of inner knowing, there's a lot of, again, sixth sense that this person just spiritually knows that they're supposed to be with you. It doesn't logically make sense. And they've convinced themselves. Now, I don't know why they created so many problems in the beginning. I just feel like, again, they made that oath a long time ago. I'm never going to be with anyone. Love doesn't work out for me. I've been doing this for so long. I get attention from so many people. It doesn't affect me. Why is it affecting me with you? I don't know how to act now, though. That's this person. Because I'm trying to deal with things very logically and analytically and critically and unemotionally, and like what they're really doing is they're sabotaging the connection. That's what they're doing. And where again, this whole thing of them actually reaching out and being different is something that is helping them to find themselves, helping them to not be codependent, because there really is a mutual like respect that this person normally doesn't have respect for people, and it's because they put them in positions, the people that they deal with anyway, they put them in positions to degrade themselves. because most people aren't aware. They don't go into relationships looking for problems. They don't go into relationships looking to be with someone that is all about themselves, that just says, well, I don't really believe that I can have love. However, I'm going to be here for a good time, not a long time, but I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to talk to a lot of different people. I'm going to breadcrumb everybody. And the ones that don't know that that's what I'm giving, or just tolerate that that's what I'm giving, well, that's what it's going to be. And I feel that this person likes your rebellious spirit. It's, again, there's a sense of that you are, where really you're not being rebellious. This person's just very insecure. They're very insecure, and they have to, they're, and there's a lot of emotional connection, remember, so there's a lot of passion that stirs up with this person. You make them feel young. You make them feel alive. You excite them. It's not an easy connection. Like I said, you stir up a lot of emotions. These emotions are not easy for this person to digest. Having to come back and apologize is not easy for this person. To be emotionally open is not easy for this person. But there's a sense of wanting to be like a child, like, again, the wanting to have, wanting to have a real connection. Again, that youth energy is very innocent energy. It's one where you just can't help it. It's one that stirs up feelings of excitement and passion. And so, like I said, this person's never felt this way before. So now they're like in this predicament of Joker card of not knowing what to do. And that's what I always call that chameleon card. It's like looking for an answer, like looking for an answer from you, but they can't read anything because you're not giving them anything. And they stayed away from you for so long that they don't know. Yeah, they, like you said, there's a sense that this person feels content when they're with you. There's a sense of them wanting to actually be affectionate with you. You're their heart's desire. You feel like home. You feel like home, even though the relationship is difficult. And I think it's mainly because this person just trusts you. You appear strong to them. And I feel like you appear strong because you walked away from them, that you didn't get tricked by them. And which is crazy because they say that they're not deserving of love. Then they get in a connection and they could create the dynamic of that. And then when the person gets hurt, they resent the person. They make it like the person's weak and deserved it. Where because you walked away from this person, they respect you, they trust you. You feel like home to them. They can't turn their emotions on and off. I feel like no one really ever stood up to this person before. And again, because they come across like, I don't give a fuck. I don't fall in love. I don't have relationships. It doesn't work out for me. Don't try. And I feel like you said, okay, I'm going to call you bluff. Okay, I'm not going to try. And then this person got affected by it. And that's not until you walked away were they really able to say, well, I feel like home. Yeah, like this connection makes this person look beneath the surface. And look beyond on the surface of themselves, the connection, it helps them learn and learn about their own past, why their relationships didn't work out. It's actually helping this person. Believe it or not, it's giving them a lot of knowledge to learn about their past. And that is actually what twin flame relationships do. They make us reflect. They make us dive deep within ourselves, mainly because we have feelings for the other person and that person is triggering us. And we can't walk away. We want to walk away. We may walk away temporarily, but we can't stay away. And when a person has lived so long a certain way, they really believe that they were not, they weren't deserving of love. They were accepted that it wasn't going to happen for them, when meanwhile they are love. Whatever has transpired in this person's life, they never healed from it. They've been bringing baggage into every single relationship, sabotaging every connection. And really not until this person like connected with someone that felt like home, felt comfortable. But they resisted it a lot. It's not like they didn't resist it. But when it's real, it's a divine union. And that's what this person keeps feeling, at the right time, the right time. The universe will bring us together. You're healing, I'm healing. This situation is making us heal. And so again, I feel like they've talked to a lot of people like online. I don't know why I keep seeing like Facebook, like this person going to different Facebook groups and talking to people, just asking them questions or just reading the page and learning that way. And possibly because you're someone that's spiritual, but this person wasn't spiritual. They're not emotionally intelligent. You are making this person become spiritual. You are making this person dive deep into themselves without actually making them do it. Just the essence of you, them wanting to figure you out. And in the beginning, wanting to most likely manipulate you because they have trust issues, and then getting to a point where they're like, this is ridiculous. I still have feelings. Why do I do this? Why am I continue to say that I can't be in a relationship? Again, brought them to themselves, realizing that they're the author of their own story. At this time, the situation is not going to occur right now because they are healing. They feel as if they need to. So it's reflection. So it's not like you're going to see anything right now. But what we still see is that there is a lot of unconditional love, and there's a soulmate. So I feel like the spiritual connection, believe it or not, this is a twin flame, a true twin flame connection. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this person was on a low vibration. You walked away. Your character, the love that you have for yourself, made this person respect you. And I feel like that was healing for you. Number one. Number two, rather. Number three, I feel like this connection has been on and off, on and off. Remember, this person breadcrumbed. You didn't do anything. They walked away. They talked to a lot of other people. They got involved. They came back to you. They breadcrumbed again. But they kept returning. And over time, they built an emotional connection. They didn't realize they had built an emotional connection. They thought that you would like everybody else. Because, again, they handled you like everybody else. I'm going to breadcrumb you. I'm not going to, I don't fall in love. What they realized is when you walked away that this is not a regular connection. And what did it make them do? It didn't make them run to you at first because they knew that they wouldn't be good enough to come to you. What it made them do is reflect inward, look at themselves, look at the history, their history, look and see what's made them become the way that they've become, and to start to take action to change. Now, twin flame relationship teaches unconditional love. That unconditional love, there's no expectation or ownership. There's no time and space. It transcends time and space. That no matter how much time that you and your twin are apart, that unconditional love cord is still there. And so that's why this person is so sure that this is a twin flame connection. And I feel like it is. Now you have free will to choose whether you want to be with this person. You can say, no, it's too much for me. This person just does too much. And now all of a sudden, because I walk away, they think that I'm their twin flame and they're ready to change and be different and give me the unconditional love and the tenderness that I deserve, that they're ready to refine the connection, and they just think that I'm going to say yes, where really there's a part of you that's going to make this person wait a little bit. But it is going to transcend, okay? It is going to transcend. It's the sense that it's going to become balanced. It's going to ascend, and eventually it's going to feel good. But don't resist it, because it's a twin flame connection. You can't control it. And that's really what a twin flame connection is. There's no ownership, there's no expectation. You can't control it. I feel like you attracted this person into your life the same reason why they attracted you into their life, that you're mirroring each other. And it's because you both were not brought up in environments that were safe. You weren't taught unconditional love by your parents. You were taught that love, there's ownership, that there is expectation. And that comes from when you grow up in an environment where your parents are codependent and there's continuously hurt because one parent emotionally doesn't show up for the other parent. So you both inherit that trauma. You inherit not getting your emotional needs met. This person fears never being good enough, and also being obligated to be that person's emotional security. So what happens is the runner chaser dynamic happens, but it's taught behavior. So the universe conspires to bring the soulmate twin flame connection together to help transmute those wounds, because the passion and the fire that's created from passion for each other and whatever they create through those acts, they're able to actually transcend the limitations and ascend. And really, that's what this relationship is all about. It's about ascension, elevating into the highest state of consciousness. So even though that this person played a lot of games, so you may say, well, again, they didn't seem to act right. So forgiveness may also be one of your spiritual lessons that you need to learn, because this person is reflecting. They are coming back. They just don't know when they're coming back. They assume it will work. Will it work? I mean, like I said, it's a general reading. So, I mean, some of you guys are going to say yes. Some of you guys are going to say no. I'll tell you one thing. If it's a twin flame relationship, if it's a real twin flame relationship, real one, you won't be able to stay away from that person. And it's because there's passion. And when there's a lot of passion, you can't control it. But in this reading, let's see, we'll just pull I want you. And again, a lot of passion. So down deep inside, you may be angry with this person, but there's still passion. And that's what I said. That's about the twin flame relationship. It's frustrating, but there's also love. And part of it is I can't walk away and I can't change things and I can't manipulate things. And it's, I want you to just surrender to like what I need to make me feel safe and that person doesn't do anything that's going to make you feel safe. If anything, they're going to bring out all your wounds. And you're going to say, I need someone to emotionally show up. This person doesn't emotionally show up. I need someone to acknowledge that they don't know how to acknowledge. They're going to show you love through, acts. They're not going to be able to verbalize it. You're going to say, I need someone to verbalize it. It's like Spirit says, you're not going to get any of that. They're going to come in that good looking package. You're going to be very attracted to them. Now, over time, will they be able to? Yeah, over time, they will learn to integrate those spiritual blockages of being able to communicate. So in order to give you what you need, but you're not getting that already. You're getting like the IKEA version, meaning that you got to put it together yourself. You got to assemble it yourself because this person does not know how to be what you need them to be. So you have to teach them, and you have to teach them through compassion. You have to teach them by integrating the higher levels of consciousness, forgiving, compassion, patience, all the levels of consciousness that help you both evolve and to heal. This person has to become emotionally intelligent. These things are not easy for them. All those things that I named before, all the things that you're like, well, this is what I need. And they're like, I'm not good at none of that. But that's their block. They are good at that. They witnessed a bad relationship. And yes, they brought some of those behaviorisms into the early relationships, and then they didn't give anyone else a try. So they've been doing things half-assed for a long time. That's not the only way to do things. Again, it's about healing, evolving, elevation. This person wouldn't do it, believe me, unless there was a lot of passion connected to it. Trust me. So we asked, why did you track this person? What are you supposed to learn from this soulmate twin flame connection? Outdoors and nature. These are the inner child wounds, neglect, dance, optimism, time and attention. I feel, Scorpio, you spend a lot of time by yourself. Spend a lot of time by yourself as a child. So you have a really good connection to your intuition. Outdoors and nature, that's the energy of God. That's the universe is God. The universe is ubiquitous, just the same as God is ubiquitous. God is also known as energy. It's known as prana. It's known as spirit. So again, you have a good connection. And the reason why is because of trauma from neglect. No time and attention was given to you. And I feel like it's because your parents were caught up in, again, one of those same trauma bond connections, the same as your person. You both witnessed the same toxic behaviors that your parents displayed, which addiction, on-off connection, and whether they stayed together, but you noticed that one parent checked out through addiction through not being emotionally available, through not just through cheating, through escapism. So you have a very good connection to, again, the higher self, which is the God part of self, which is, again, part of being out in nature. I feel like when you were out in nature, it helped you to connect to your own rhythm, to your own rhythm. And this is how you were able to stay optimistic. So as a child, you had to learn to be self-sufficient and continue to give yourself energy, positive energy, because you didn't have support. You had to be your own support. So you had learned through being with this person that even though that there was love there, they weren't giving you what you needed. The same as how you grew up. You grew up where you didn't get what you needed. The no time, no attention, neglect. This person did the same thing with their little breadcrumbs. But you always had a good connection to source, because the child that survives thrives, and that child survives through the effect of escaping through their imagination and through their intuition and through the creative mind. Again, being like a child, utilizing what's in their environment to help them create the support. So I feel like this person not giving you anything, you are so used to being able to take care of yourself that even though, yes, you want someone to emotionally give to you, but Spirit showed you was you don't need anyone to do that for you, as long as you're optimistic. As long as you're optimistic and you're grounded, again, you have a good connection to source. And so you'll be able to go with the flow through your own rhythm. It's about giving yourself the time and attention and not neglecting yourself. Where a lot of times when people aren't healed because they don't get what they need, because they grew up in a codependent environment where their parents were had addictions and other attachments and a codependent relationship, well, then children have to give the energy to themselves. And I feel like you used to be a fixer and you no longer are the fixer, because you said, I noticed that you're not giving me anything. All you're giving me is breadcrumbs. And so, like I said, I feel like it was about you realizing that, yes, you want those things, but you don't need them. And that by giving those things to yourself, you shape shifted the situation where this person is like, well, now that you don't need me to give you anything and you don't have expectation of me, I let my guard down and I'm able to actually feel and able to process what I feel. So I'm feeling like, again, because you didn't expect this person to give it to you, you walked away. It's almost like this person was safe enough, felt safe enough, where again, you're not telling them what to do, because whatever it is with this person, whenever they get into a relationship, no one's happy. That's why they feel like they can't really have love. It's really because they're not transparent enough. They don't have conversation enough, but it's almost like this person can see that they can do that now, where before they couldn't if you were going to put expectation onto them. So we leave it off with this energy, which, let's see. Peace. I am unwavering in the face of fear. I come to my senses and embrace challenge. I am determined to think with gentleness and calm. I find inner silence and become a manifestation of peace. So again, you didn't create drama. You walked away from this person. You didn't demand anything that made this person feel safe. And what your rule is, and what Spirit always says, is anything that makes you feel crazy, again, anything that's triggering that is, or asking you to undervalue yourself, or someone's disrespecting you, well, obviously it's going to disturb your peace. So walk away. Always walk away. You did the right thing. That's why you passed the spiritual test. And in that, what you realize is that as long as you're in peace, that you're going to be able to attract exactly what you need. It just so happened that you attracted this person to come right back into your life to give you what you need, even though you might be like, I didn't really want this person after they did all that. And then spirit says, well, if it's a twin flame relationship, it's about you also surrendering your ego, learning to forgive, and understanding that it's about not being able to control how a relationship is, that love is just love, that you can't control it. It's like you have to surrender to it. I'm going to leave that there. It's all about peace, getting yourself to peace, meaning you're not going to be able to control this twin flame connection because it's going to piss you off. So you might as well surrender to it. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon, Scorpio. Bye.